What's the deal? Blow out the mic.
Right. What's the deal? Well, welcome back to another episode of the Trio Pod. Let me get this water bottle out the frame. Okay, here we go. Yeah, another episode of the Trio Pod. Thank you guys for tuning in and tapping in with us. We appreciate y'all,
Absolutely.
loyal listeners and viewers.
Thank you.
What's up?
Hi.
What's the deal, y'all?
Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
Black History Month.
Right.
All that. Is it not?
Don't do it during Black History Month.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
Don't do what?
Don't do it. Don't do. I don't know.
do nothing.
Just
Don't try it.
Don't do nothing against Black people.
Don't do nothing against Black
Period.
people. Black
Don't
History
do nothing
Month.
against blacks.
We were having this conversation about Black History Month. So why do we continuously have to have Black History Month, meaning that there needs to be a resurfacing of the information as to context for our history? Why haven't we just already started implementing it into the curriculum and education so it stops being like a thing where we have to have a separate month, separate from the history that's already being given or taught?
That's a good question.
I think it's because
That's a great question.
they're actively trying to remove them from the curriculum.
They're actually trying to do the opposite of what
Right, like, so I mean, at the time, I appreciate it. I enjoy it. I didn't really feel it as strong this year as I felt it other years, but they're trying to remove it from the curriculum. Like, what's that? Critical race theory?
Really?
Yes, like CRT, that's like a really big deal right now. Like, just even take words such as slavery, take certain
indentured servitude.
Take certain literature out of the book so that a certain group don't look bad because it feels uncomfortable as their descendants learn this information
About themselves.
Right. So,
That's interesting.
Well, shout out to the men.
Shout out to
And then
us.
we keep learning about
Shout
the
out
same
to-
people, Benjamin Banneker and all the usual
Please, no
suspects.
disrespect.
No disrespect.
right.
That name ring bells.
Of,
That name ring bells for
Tori
sure.
learned about Langston Hughes. I was like, okay.
Yes.
I think that's
Yes,
great,
Langston.
right?
And it's never
And who-
enough
okay,
information, I
and
guess.
The first female pilot.
forgot her name, but she was great.
Who comes to mind is Amelia Earhart, and she was not black.
The first female, the first black
Shout
female
out to
pilot.
Amelia, though.
She, so she was known for like doing tricks in the air.
In the air, wow.
And then how she died was that she actually, the door flew open and she fell out of the plane. Yes.
Well, she probably went how she wanted to go. If you're like, well, was that too far? Too much?
That's
I hope not.
Well, I'm thinking about if
Not
you love
flying out the plane, though,
if you
fella.
love
You know,
planes.
not to
sis.
make
No
this
flying
more
That's like
out
my
the
love
plane.
scene. I want to die on stage. No, I don't. Like,
Not
right.
flying out the plane though.
But not to
P, do
make
you know who
hold on,
I'm?
not
Can
to
you
make
give
it
it?
more
Can you
bit.
drop the name? Miss
But
P?
I always feel like in those situations, like,
Now I
do
gotta Google her.
God take you before you feel whatever? Like,
Right.
if you in the air and you're, or not even the air, when someone's like in a fire, like, I like to think like you were extracted long before.
Yeah.
That's
Especially
just how
in
we
that
feeling
one.
like,
Scientifically, like if you're dropping from a plane, just the impact and pressure with you not having any. Well, I mean, no.
I guess the altitude. I see. I
Right?
guess you can lose
Bessie
consciousness.
Bessie Coleman.
Bessie.
Bessie.
Yes.
Y'all look
Bessie
that up.
Coleman.
Bessie Coleman.
Sade descendant. Got it.
Okay.
I'll be attaching myself to anybody with my same last name. I was
know
like,
She was
Brown?
very young. She was
Right.
34 when she died.
She was 34? Wow. Well,
She was the first African American woman and first Native American to hold a pilot license.
I love that.
That's fire, right?
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, we giving y'all some good information. See, it's not all just shucking and jiving.
Who's our good sis that press hair? Madam C.J. Walker. She
Yeah.
was like
Our good
30s.
sis.
Our
Good
good
night.
Sis.
I'm done with it. But you disrespectful. She like 200 years old at this point, but you tried it.
I was saying she was like,
She's our good sis.
That's why we like, who you talking
The whole
about?
film, okay? Put some respect
they
on it,
did
okay?
a terrible job with that movie, by the way. It was heavy on the feminist, not enough on the real shit.
The girl
But,
made Blair look like a complete monster. But anyway, I
girl.
digress.
but she was barely 40 when she passed away. Like, to me, that's just like crazy. The fact that you did
Yeah.
all that hustling,
Girl, because look
all
at this
that
press.
grinding.
Look at these presses. Look, by the grace of God, you know what I'm saying? She found a way.
The gift that kept
The
giving.
gift that kept on giving.
Thank you.
Hallelujah.
Right.
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Yeah.
But anyway,
okay.
happy Black History Month.
We
people.
give y'all some black facts.
Yeah, hire a black woman too. That's dope.
Hire a black woman.
Shout
Shout
out.
out to Gina Views, to Lee. You know, this is the campaign I'm always representing. So
How about that?
how about that?
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to say shout out to Jafra Cosmetics. They did a highlight for me to highlight black creatives.
Beautiful.
So that was an amazing interview.
Bravo.
Thank you. Bravo.
Applause, but a 10.
I know. We'll just do
So
a
yeah,
manual
I
for
was
now.
really excited about that. They did a great piece and number on me.
Not
so.
a piece, a period piece,
A whole
a
piece,
thought
right.
piece. Okay.
It was very thoughtful of them. And shout out to Jasmine Nash, who was the creative director. She's the stylist. She was just the whole, woman behind the scenes, making it all happen and move and putting Black women in front of the lens.
I love that. That's
Wow.
nice.
That's beautiful.
Nice.
And Jasmine is really dope.
Yeah, shout out to her.
Shout out to her.
So what's going on in today's news?
Girl, let's get into some of these. So you know what we were supposed to talk about last time? Circling back, last episode that we were here, we were supposed to talk about toxic traits. Does anybody want to share what they feel like some of their toxic traits may be? And I don't remember what the context was of why we were on that.
We were talking about.
Oh, Lord. I feel like falling in love. Like, girl, they done scratched and screwed it. Yeah, okay, so we'll do something else with it. Yeah, okay. Why is it still doing it? Okay.
Girl, these new phones, honey.
So I guess we could. So what would you consider one of your toxic traits? And it could just be just in general. It could be like in relationships. You know what I'm saying? Like something that you would consider to be like a toxic trait. Like we were talking about, and this is not to say that this would is the context, but like we were talking about one of our viewers with a boyfriend who kind of tested him and put him on the spot a little bit in somewhat of a toxic way. Just to kind of see if he had some heart. But, she could have just said, like, do you have some? You know what I'm saying? You have my back.
Battle tested.
Yeah, but she wanted to kind of go a certain way to be able to get that outcome. So are there any games that you play, any toxic behavior? Because we all have, I guess, toxic.
I don't know. Like, I would say my personal toxic trait is procrastination considered toxic?
What is it?
Procrastination. Like, just procrastinating.
Yeah.
Like, is that considered
it
toxic?
could be.
Are you talking about in general or
like,
just in relationships?
like to myself. Like, just to myself.
Just a toxic habit
Like,
or
it's
trait.
a
I could think so. Could be.
I would say, I mean, at least that's what's coming to mind where I know like that's a bad habit. Like you need to you need to stop procrastinating. You need to like stop because it's affecting you.
Yeah.
Like with the things that you need to get done, you are procrastinating for whatever fucking reason.
Right.
So I would say that maybe is my personal.
But there's some people that procrastinate and like they're able to like Yuri's kind of like that, but she can like work to the wire and like get it done.
Yeah, so those.
So she still gets it done, but like
see that's me. Unfortunately, when it relates to like school or work, like I will procrastinate, but like they say, there's no minute like the last.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like there's no second. Like the final hour is like boom, boom, boom. But I'm trying to like cram the shit versus like if you would have done this at the top of the hour, you've been free for the rest of the day. You know?
Right.
I would say my relationship toxic trait could be like just a little to test the jealousy. Which
Do
is
you really?
masking like do you care?
That's so funny.
You know what I mean? It could be masking like, let me see if you care, or let me say something that I know you don't. You know what I mean? Just to see like how much you care. You know what I mean? And that's like early on little.
we might take it all the way, like really, like you said, like
yeah, like let me see,
let me see. Does it work?
Sometimes not.
Sometimes it don't.
Sometimes it don't because it can get like put back on you, and then like the fuck, you know?
Right. Because what if it go the opposite way? And he like, oh yeah, that's no problem. Yeah, well just let me know. You know what I'm saying?
Because then it's like, damn, you don't care,
right?
You don't fucking care, huh? All right.
Yeah.
I think of something. I think of a scenario when that shit didn't work out as expected. So yeah, that's my two toxic things.
I love that. Okay,
that's a good one though. That's a good one. Yeah, it is. I would say mine is the tit for tat. Like, I'm going to return that same energy. And sometimes that's not necessarily good. Sometimes it's okay to be the bigger person and maybe speak up. But you know what? If you want to give me that energy, I'm returning it right back. And I will go tit for tat with you. We're gonna play the game.
Titty tat, tit tat,
let's play the game because I am going to go tit for tat. Let's play the game because sometimes I'll be, like, fuck all that.
Right.
You know
why do I have to be? Why do I have to step into?
I don't want to always be the bigger person.
Right.
So you want to not call me, I'm not going to call you either. We're just going to wait until see who calls first. And it might be a month, it might be 2, it might be a year. But you know what?
Damn. The full 365.
And I will go through that. I will literally go through that.
Like self-inflicted, even if you want to.
Even if you have to budge.
Yeah.
And that's a real toxic trait.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I can see that.
That's bad.
I think we all have a little bit of that sometimes. That's just like a little pride. Like it's
that's definitely pride. Yeah.
I think
we're gonna play the game. So
you
go first.
And is that for relationships and everything?
I would say that's really more so in a relationship.
In your relationship.
Yeah, I don't have that
energy. Just
I don't
like
have that
people.
energy off of anything
well, you
else
just
but
said
relationships.
that you ran into a girl that you spoke to, and you spoke, but you wouldn't like, you know what I'm saying? Like after she did whatever she did, you
Well,
wasn't like,
I spoke.
"F you." Like,
Well, not at the box of the mall and shit, but
Right.
Yeah, I spoke to somebody and she looked me dead in my eyes and just didn't acknowledge it.
right.
You know, I don't even know what that is because we don't even know each other like that. So that could just be from whatever you heard about me or whatever you feel, you think you know about me or whatever, or what somebody said about me to you.
Weird.
That's
Yeah.
some weird shit because
Yeah.
you have never ever had an encounter,
Right.
like never had a conversation, never even spoke. We don't know anything about each other. And that's a lot of weird energy that a lot of women possess anyway, is that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of just like, well, I feel like I know her because of what somebody else told me about her.
Right. So I'm gonna carry it like that.
I'm gonna carry it like that instead of really getting to know that person or speaking to that person,
Right.
Or straight up asking like, "Oh, I heard this." Y'all, we're not doing that. Nobody's bold enough to step up and do that,
Right.
But whatever it is you feel like you're caring about that person, like why not stand on that and be like, "Okay, what's up? Like, let me talk to him. Let me get to know him.
Right.
And
Let
see
me-
what's going
Let me
on.
ask.
See
Do
it
you
for
even know
myself.
do you even know my name?
Right.
Like,
Right.
Why you got an attitude?
Oh no,
Do
they
you
be
even
knowing
my
the
name?
They know the names.
You know what
LA
I'm
too
saying?
small. Everybody know everybody.
That's
So
a
I'm
fact.
just
So
saying,
and
like,
everybody spy on everybody. Everybody know what's going on with everybody.
That's
So
a fact.
stop playing. Yeah.
What's yours?
y'all see me out here.
I think that I'm definitely a recluse. I don't think that's a secret from anybody, but I definitely am a hermit, and that's not always the best in any scenario because no one can reach you. Like if something is going on with them, if you really need help, you may not even know how to climb out of that space to ask for it because you're so, you know what I'm saying, in deep to whatever kind of mood, vibe, or whatever you're in. And so that also like affects your, you know, your money. You know what I'm saying? Because of course, if you, let's say you have an online business or something like that, at some point you're going to have to get out there and touch the people and talk to the people. And that's in any industry that you're in, right? It doesn't matter. It's not specific just to entertainment or anything like that. Like you have to be able to kind of like get out of that. And there's always polarity. So while I'm more comfortable being at home in my own space, read a book, chill, just, you know what I'm saying, nest, that's kind of just my vibe. You have to have polarity to that. And definitely when it comes to just, you know, being emotionally available and transparent and all of those things, like that can be difficult for me. So sometimes I do kind of go into my shell and I won't come out.
I can see that.
Yeah, we kind of know when
Especially
to-
like now. I feel like
Yeah.
I feel like that's more you today than
Ever before. Yeah.
Like a lot. Like where the fuck is Valerie at? You know,
Yeah.
like okay, well I don't know. Like
Girl, my man asked too. He be right there. Like, what's wrong with you? Like,
Right. Yeah, I think we kind of consense when something's going on because you get real quiet.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get very quiet. So
or when major events go on.
Oh, yeah,
You
and
know,
then I
like
think
when
we-
there's
Oh,
something
yeah.
that's like
if somebody dies, don't call
that's
me.
like traumatic.
yeah,
or
I was
like,
gonna say
wow,
I remember.
that-
I can
Although
recall,
you had- I mean,
especially when Nipsey passed away.
Oh, yeah.
Because we were I think we were in our group chats about it. We were kind of talking about it amongst each other. I feel like it was
think
a lot
so.
of, it was something about amongst like the group talking about it, and we didn't hear from Fallon at all.
Yeah, that hit me really, really hard.
At all.
I remember, and this is not to go on a Nipsey tangent or whatever, but why not
Here you
honor
are.
him? It's Black History Month,
Right.
You know,
Honor
beautiful
a
Black
king.
brother, our king. Hello. When we found out about it, me and my boo was at the movies. We were seeing Us. Us was out at that time. We was leaving from the movie theater, and everybody, the energy was so crazy, just atmospherically, if that's a word.
Everybody got the news at the same time.
So we seeing people in the lobby or whatever coming out the movies, and it's just weird. And everybody kind of looking around, standing around, everybody moving kind of slow.
Yeah.
We look at the phone, and it's crazy. We in the car ride home for 30 minutes, quiet. We didn't say
Yeah.
nothing to each other. We was just completely silent. It was just so weird. It was like outer body, and I don't know. It just, and then you almost felt weird too that it felt so emotionally taxing because we didn't know him. We knew him, but it's not like he was our brother, boyfriend, husband, homie like that.
Yeah.
So you almost kind of felt like crazy too, feeling like that, but you couldn't help it. So it was like processing those emotions too.
But that's the impact that he had on us
sure.
through his music, through who he was as a person, who he is to us. Like we
Yeah.
are district. First of all, this is Nipsey, Crenshaw District.
Yeah, this
South
the land.
Central LA.
Yeah.
That's like, that's like shit, Nas in New York and Jay-Z in they boroughs. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
Like
for
that's
sure.
home. This is home for us.
Yeah.
He is our hometown hero.
And it was weird because the night he got killed, I went up to his shop, like, just that intersection. I think I went with like Curly, like the blocks was packed. Like you
Yeah.
could not.
That was outside.
You
You
cannot
couldn't even
really
get
get
through.
your
They were
no. You
outside.
cannot even make your way onto fucking Slauson. And it was interesting because like his homies was at the shop. The fans was like on West Boulevard. That's, if you know, it's a block up from the shop. Like it was a very clear distinction.
Right.
Like, and it was people from San Diego, but then I later learned that was like his biggest and best market.
Right.
But I'm like, you fucking drove from San Diego. Like, you know, like
Girl,
I was
they
down
got
the
down here
block.
quick. Right.
Like fucking Associated Press and shit was there. Like it was crazy, but it was like all his fans. And like the homies or whomever let his, as I have my marathon
right.
please.
Look how it all ties
cut
in.
the neck off. Excuse me, nothing neither here nor there. Level off the shoulder, guys.
Right.
But it was just crazy. But to circle it back, we knew at that time, like, okay, well, let her some time to process.
Yeah.
And now I think that that's just the new you.
Yeah.
Like, this is just who you are at 30. And that's important to know
Yeah.
as friends, because you, like, it's different.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, this is just who she is. This is what it is. And I think that's like, it's been you, but it's just really like
amplified.
the full essence of who Fallon is today.
Yeah.
Like,
For sure.
a real homebody. Same fun outside, but just like the day to day. It's like, okay, I'm just home. I'm here if you hit me if you need me, but
please hit me if you need me. Okay. I will pull the fuck up. Right. But I'm saying my point of saying it to be a toxic trait is because, you know, you have to come out of that. Whatever it is that you're it's just all about polarity. And it's like, we are who we are. There's some things about us that may not be as favorable. We're not perfect. Those things are not going to change.
Yeah.
More often than not, or more than likely, they're probably not going to change. But we can temper them and find ways to balance them out just to assist ourselves in being able to have better interactions with people that we do know, that we have close relationships with, that we
it's
don't.
like moderation. I guess everything
In moderation.
Like that's
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Let us know what your toxic traits are in the comments.
Come in the comments, please.
Of this video, and let us know how raggedy you are in 2023. So, Ms. Hodis, of course, I didn't send you this clip ahead of time because we're ghetto, but I wanted to play something and just get your thoughts really quick.
Goal that she has set for herself, and she reach them, you treat them like y'all both reached them. She went got that goddamn bachelor's degree. That's both 5 degrees. We gonna party like it's both 5. Shit. She went got her doctorate. Oh shit, that's both 5 hours. We jumping off the ceiling with it. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a win for everybody. It's a win for everybody, and she gonna feel way more appreciated and way more satisfied with you jumping off the wall for her, instead of you just being a simple man and, you know what I'm saying? Hey baby, congratulations.
Preach, Bishop.
And you don't say nothing. Man, jump off the wall for that woman. Because if I win, you win. You win, I win. The whole team win. The kids win. Our family win. Our grandkids that we ain't even got yet win. This ain't about us. It's bigger than us. And that's how you gotta always think about it.
So,
Where's that brother at?
Run down the motel.
he's in Texas. Shout out to
word.
the Cruise Season podcast, one of my favorite podcasts. Ladies, if y'all want some game, like, you know, the main guy or whatever, I think 2 of the guys out of the 4 are married. Definitely good gaming information. So, I guess the point of conversation is,
That was a great clip.
it's
That was- it felt
crazy.
good. It
It's
felt
kind of
good.
like, I know we probably all have experience being in, you know, friendships, partnerships with men, you know, just trying to still have goals and ambitions. And you know what I mean? It's 2023. Like, we all have things that we want to get done. You know what I'm saying? Gone are the days of just we sitting down taking care of kids, although that's a beautiful story as well. Unless that's your intention and your goal. There's other things that we may want to do and may want to accomplish. And we now want the same level of support. Like, you know, because if you really love me, why wouldn't you be pushing me in those same ways? So what do y'all think about men supporting women? Have y'all seen it as a lack of support in your own experiences, in people that you know, even like parents, you know, older women that you may have had, you know, you might have an auntie or something like that. She wanted to open up a corner store, and her hating ass husband was always, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's an actual great topic, because I think that, so for me personally, I think the reason why I share my news is because I do want everybody to celebrate it and be excited as the news as I am.
Right.
That's the whole point of sharing it, right? I want my whole crew and my team, my family, my mom, my friends to be like, well, shit, bitch, well, let's go grab a drink.
It's on, we
Congratulations.
on.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Or, because that is my motto. I feel like my win is your win, or it's, you know, I'm doing this for us. I usually, when I move and do certain things, it's to try to open up a door for somebody else or try to put somebody in position.
Right.
Right. So I would, you know, like that motto of, you know, like, my win is our win, I move that way, you know. But, you know, as far as in a relationship, I think that sometimes if a man can't celebrate you because he's not necessarily secure in his space, you know, sometimes they're not necessarily at, you know, at a place where they feel confident within themselves. And sometimes men compete with their women too, though.
I was just gonna say, if we want to, you sorry, Mookie, but like you know, if you think about J and B, there have been some conversations and talks. I mean, that's a very crazy person to stand next to, even being the biggest rapper of all time, arguably. But in those cases, it's a lot of like celebrity type cases where you see that, and yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, so that's a great example. Like, shit, they're both two forces, but Beyonce might got a little bit more leverage than
in this season.
Yeah, in this season.
In this season.
That's right. Let's add that in this season. Correct.
Right.
But so yeah, you might not necessarily have a partner that is, again, mentally where he wants to be, you know, in his career, and his woman might be just bodying her goals, and he ain't necessarily secure in his space. So then you do have a certain degree, like, well, congratulations, baby. And then he's going in the room, and now he's kind of like feeling a certain kind of way, or doesn't have that energy that you just want from your man.
It's a lady named Love Dorsey. Y'all look her up, and she is definitely a proponent of, you know, if you telling somebody, especially your partner, you know what I'm saying? That's literally like your partner in crime, and you telling them something, and then it's like, oh, okay, and it's not met with like
enthusiasm,
excitement.
Yeah, you like even if you telling them about how you feel about them, you know what I'm saying? If you talking about anything that makes you excited or that lights you up, and they dim that down with any kind of energy that doesn't match that without an explanation or context, that could definitely be
imagine calling your man about a new job that you've been wanting to get for years, and he just No, I'm serious, like, because that's the first person you're gonna call, usually your man. Imagine getting the job, coming out from the interview, babe, guess what? I got the job. Right. You're like, oh, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. What does that mean?
What does that mean?
Or in the midst of you explaining, cool. And it's like, let me call you right back. Hold on. I'm gonna call you right back.
Like, excuse me?
This is my moment.
Like,
yeah, you have so much enthusiasm about it, and he just brings you down 10 notches.
Dim your light.
Let me ask you, Mookie, a different question. You can answer that one too, but I wanted to kind of pivot a little bit. What do you think men could do to support their women better? I think you have great oversight. You know what I mean?
I'm come today, and I was here to be honest today.
Come on, Miss Cleo.
I was here to be honest.
I'm just wondering, like, what do you feel like because honestly, I think it's a thing of what I'm learning just in life and experience and stuff like that is that a lot of stuff is not a judgment thing, it's a life thing. Yeah. Whether you see a trait in somebody that may not be the best, like, more than likely you've been that or you will be. So you have to be very, very careful, right, as far as just being empathetic and all of that. And so we all know men's egos are very, very fragile. And, you know, a lot of them do suffer from, you know, I'm a black man in American syndrome, you know, how do I make my way? And, you know, sometimes they get knocked off track. And, like, if you're with a woman that's equally ambitious, that's not just necessarily in place to support you. I'll give another great example, like Lauren and Nipsey. Now, rest in peace to Nipsey, always respect with that. And, you know, Lauren obviously was her own woman before she met Nipsey Hussle. She did not become Lauren London when she met Nipsey Hussle. And she, at that moment in her career, very well could have, like, you know, had a trajectory of doing even bigger and better things at that time, right? Well, she may have even had a wider net cast simply because she was in a different stage in her life, right? She wasn't grieving. It was, you know what I mean? Different part of her life. So she too had to kind of take a back seat to support the vision of her man. Now, I will say the vision of her man and the thing and the work that he was doing probably required hands-on support.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Day-to-day support.
She low-key came in with the support. Like, she came in like,
I'm going to meet you at your store.
I want to buy some shirts.
Yeah.
Because even he was like, I thought about giving it to her for free, but was like, nah, niggas probably giving her free shit. Like, you gonna pay, and you
got it.
You gonna pay, you know, come through. So she came in like, ooh, so
yeah.
Yeah,
but I mean,
but I could see that.
You know what I'm saying? To where she maybe not was even asked, but just as a woman seeing her man, you know, doing something with such purpose, like, you know, maybe acquiesce to just like, okay, let me be in a more supportive role. And I think the issue that men have sometimes, not to answer the question because I want your POV too, but I think what men do sometimes is they don't return that same energy. We need support. We need Michelle Obama, Barack Obama, great example there.
Yeah.
First of all, I can hear her speak because the women who get it. You know what I mean? I would say
speak to that because I know you heard what she said too. It was like a special she did, right?
It was just the clips I saw that she did.
Yeah.
And I think she was explaining, like, throughout the tenure of her relationship, she wasn't always in love. Like, I'm not in love. She didn't always like him.
Right.
You know what I mean? There were just certain periods of the relationship where it's like, you're out doing you, advancing you, and I'm home with the kids. I love them, but I need a break. You know, it didn't quite seem 50-50 because at the time it wasn't.
Right.
You know, it could have been, you know, I don't know, 60, whatever, you know? And I feel like, okay, I'm getting off track, but anyway,
tangents. We love
anyway,
tangents.
I'm like, I don't, because I want to stick to the questions because I
Yeah.
hate listening to something and it's like I want to know the answer. Y'all never went back to
Y'all
it.
never talked about it.
Right. But I don't know. I feel like the support you get from a guy, I think it's certain support that come from a man who really loves you. It isn't. This is my. I done talk to people. I know, like, y'all care about me, but y'all don't love me for it. Like, y'all don't really give a fuck. You know, it's like, what's up? What you doing? Not really what you working on, or how can I support you with that? Or damn, that's dope. Let me lob you this resource. Like,
Right.
that's very seldom. You know what I mean? And I've only gotten that type of support from people that genuinely fuck with me. And unfortunately, I've made some questionable choices in relationships to where that part of it didn't really matter. I mean,
Right.
where
What?
that part, like that part of the support didn't quite make the relationship. Like, I want you to win. It's, that's cool. That's what's up. But I'm not gonna really. I'm not helping you along the journey. You know what I'm saying? Like, damn, if I'm stumbling or I'm having a tough time, you're not really helping me out. I'm trying to get shit off the ground now, and I'm fucking nickel and diming a product here, a product there by myself.
Yeah.
But if I want to have sex with somebody, I can call somebody. But you see the fact that I got this little product stand that niggas 2 shelves are empty.
Right.
These products, they cost what they cost, and you can give me that.
Right.
So that's could be a question about where's the support really going.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So to me, it goes back to like the love aspect. I feel like if a dude really genuinely loves you, he will support you, or he'll be willing to support after that conversation is had. Like, hey, I need whoopty whoop.
Once you ask for it too, because and I think that's a great point too, because we still do have to open it up to communication. They don't want to talk about shit.
They don't.
Especially things that make them feel weak or inferior or anything that's going to challenge their ego and
because it's like, even if you're not financially like looking out, right?
Yeah.
The financial aspect, creatively support me.
Right.
Tell me, that'd be dope. Like, I got this fucking a conference board whiteboard.
How about this? Right.
Like, add to that. Like, tell me some shit is dope or not, yay or nay. Like, that goes a long fucking way.
Right.
Even if you can't put the money down, at least creatively, like, support me or help me or whatever it is. Like, pour into that.
Right. So, do you guys feel that moving into the next phases of your life with whoever you choose to partner with, that if you don't receive that kind of support, that's going to be a deal breaker? Like, if you don't have the kind of support where your man, and now he could be great in other areas too. I think we have to give credence to that too. Like, everybody shines. You know what I'm saying? Maybe he doesn't support you there for whatever reason. Maybe I got to talk about that, go to therapy about it. I don't know. But maybe he love on you, take care.
Yeah,
of you.
it's deal breaker.
So would it be a deal breaker?
Absolutely.
Honestly, I don't even know if I really want to date anymore. I don't see myself
I wanted
being
to talk
the
about
bitter
that too.
person, but like when I look around, like I feel like I don't want to date. Like it get here when it get here, but I'm not like actively open wanting to date because I just feel like what's here is disgusting. I feel like so many single moms have raised men who think they're entitled and that they're the prize.
Yeah.
And they're expecting us to
I've
pick
seen
up that
plenty of
mama's
niggas that
boy.
say they are the prize.
And I feel like
seeing
it came
that.
from
Literally men saying they are the prize.
There's no slight to single moms. I'm saying the fact that you over
Shit, really.
like
Everybody didn't get it right.
I'm saying like no, not knocking people who came from a
100%.
not for you for those people who love to
Of course.
misconstrue what you say, but I mean like because it was just your mom, you grew up, you going from her titty to mine, you know what I mean, and it's just like no, I just feel like a certain entitlement come from them type of men at the end of the day. So right now I'm just feeling like I'm kind of cool.
Yeah.
But anyhow,
I understand that.
So deal breaker for you? Okay.
Absolutely deal breaker because I mean I'm in this, we're entering the second parts of our lives, right? And that's all that it is for me. It's like, okay, it's now or never for me when it comes to my passion and my dreams and what I'm trying to do, because right now I don't have any more time to waste for me.
Sure.
I'm at that age where it's like it's all or nothing.
Shit or get off the pot.
Yeah, and if you not all or nothing with that and literally riding this, if we're not here together and literally taking the same steps together, it's not going anywhere. But best believe I'm going to reciprocate and make sure I have that same energy towards whatever it is that you're doing too.
And pushing you too.
because
Yeah.
I mean, women, we're naturally like that, right?
Yeah.
We're naturally going to get behind our men, and I think that sometimes too can be an issue because we give all this energy and we're not getting it back,
And we're not getting
it's
it
not
back.
being reciprocated. It's like, how
Yeah.
come you can't love me as much as I love you? You know, so for me, it's a off top deal breaker. I'm going to go into the conversation. That's going to be the first conversation at dinner, at brunch, or where our first date.
brunch.
Those are the very first conversations going to be had. So like, this is what I'm into. Like, you know, figuring that dynamic out. Like, okay, this is what I'm into. What are you into?
feel you.
Where are you at with it? Let me tell you where I'm at with it and what I need and my wants. I'm putting that up front right off top. And if it scares you, then it's definitely not meant to be.
Yeah.
But that's off top. That's you know, I'm opening up the conversation with that shit. So
That lack of support stuff, it has to go.
that shit because I come from a nigga that was so insecure within that space that couldn't help and that was leaving the events early, that couldn't support it, that was intimidated by other niggas in the room and it just couldn't hang in that space.
Yeah, and sometimes it's
know
like,
what I
help
mean?
me silence my own doubt because that's just not limited to like relationship. Like sometimes my mom has a hard time seeing the vision. I was
absolutely.
unpacking candle modes at home the other day, and she was like, "What's that?" I'm like, because it's a full
Girl,
figure. It's a
yeah.
full figure body. It's a
Right.
candle mode, but it's a full figure,
Woman.
body, right?
Yeah.
And she was like, "What you gonna do with that?"
What
I
you
was
Yeah,
gonna
like,
so I don't even like mom, please.
What's that supposed to
Right.
be for?
Like I was like, I don't know, like what do you think some price points? All right, like she means well, you know,
Girl,
but
they
don't see the vision,
she
though.
just don't see it, and that's not even a plight to her.
Yeah.
But in my relationship, I would expect like
Yeah.
you put your glasses on, you gonna
Yeah,
see this vision. Like she may
right.
not get it, but you have to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then in other aspects, like my sister will pour into what I'm doing and just so love it.
love
And
that.
even the small moves that I'm doing, it encourage her to do what she wants to do. Encourage her
Right.
to
And that's
do
the whole
her
thing.
writing
That's
and
big.
Yeah.
you know what I mean. And when
That's
she
so
say
big.
how motivating that is, I'm like, what? Like I ain't even launched nothing, but it's everything I'm doing in preparation. Rather is getting products, LLC, orchestrating
All of the
shoots and
things, yeah.
got a whole Q1, just whatever it is that I'm doing that she's seeing in preparation is like motivating for her. And I'm
love
like,
that.
damn, how?
Mhm.
Like you the boss, like you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I would need that support. Without that, then like what are we doing? What
Love that it's coming
what
from
are
her,
we
though.
doing?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
fuck that. Niggas better support because I know I'm going to.
Yeah.
You know, I know I'm going to whatever you're working on, be a part and come with it creatively, and that's just me. And I'm learning not to expect me from others. Like
Right. Yeah.
what you do is just what you do. It's just it's just these are your principles.
And I think we also get tripped up too because we think about everything in terms of 50-50.
Correct.
We have to get out of that
For sure.
mindset. So what I think is more practical is this is my time. You know what I'm saying? The same way if we on a label, we all on a label or whatever. I'm Kendrick, you J-Rock. we on
TDE is a
TDE,
great,
you know
is a
what
great
I'm saying?
example.
And it's
Yeah.
one at a time.
It is.
Oh, for sure.
And when it's your time, everybody's pushing it. Everybody's getting behind, and that's any label or whatever. But I mean, it's your time, and I think in partnership, it has to kind of be like that. But Michelle was speaking to her marriage with Barack in that context as well. Like during his presidency, she was not for it. She had other things she wanted to do. This was not just a housewife. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? She was college educated. You know what I'm saying? Had ambitions, had goals. So she had to put hers on hold in order to support him because that was his season.
Yeah.
And then once they stepped out, and he's spoken to that too. And once he stepped out of his season, he had to give it up for her. And he's
Yeah.
fully at her
everything
will
yep.
to for whatever.
Yep.
And now she on conferences, tours. She everywhere. She got books. She everywhere. She outside
Yeah.
doing her work
She
because
outside.
it's her
Right.
It's
Michelle was
so
outside.
outside.
I was listening. I was like, that's funny as
You know,
fuck.
I didn't get
Michelle
about
was
that. Now,
wild.
wait a minute. No, that's a little bit too fresh.
Right.
Talking about the first lady.
Right.
Like, yeah, but like everybody, they so I think we have to get out of that 50-50 thinking and kind of just step into more of like a role of support and let's just, because it's going to be hard to do. Are we both grinding at the same time? Sometimes it got to be one person's turn.
Yeah.
I believe
And
that.
then you
100%.
gotta,
I'm
and then
with
it gotta
that.
be the next person's turn. Tabitha, what is Tabitha? Brown.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Brown. Another
cousin.
Brown.
Yeah.
She speaks about that heavy with her husband. You know what I'm saying? And, she's doing so much work now, but he knows now that he's kind of also stepping into his time now.
Yeah.
Because I think before she got on, it was her time. He was working as a police officer to support the family so
And
she could go on
and she retired
auditions.
him.
Yeah.
And she retired him. And now it's
That's
his
fire.
turn to do what he wants to do and
That's
start his
fire.
fitness programs or training
Right.
or whatever name. I said she know all this stuff. She be following. I don't know what he working on. But you know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's beautiful. when
Yes,
you do that.
and I think you need to know also when to take the baton and go.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because you can't support not a pipe dream, because I know that's gonna sound
A
weird.
pipe
You know what I
dream.
mean? But
What is
like
a pipe dream? What is that? What does that entail? What is a
just
people
how
say that?
when they say you got potential, like you're not doing nothing. Like you know what I mean? Like
It's just it's a
right.
It's a pipe
It's
dream,
just
honey.
right. It's just a pipe dream. Like
Yeah.
first of all, that
A pipe dream.
that
just
originated
sounds
from
old
the
school
90s.
name.
That's
Old
first of all
school
it is.
term.
That's so 90s. Like just a pipe dream. Like I've
We're probably
always
gonna
heard
beyond
it.
that. That's probably like, you
On
know, we
everything.
used to get they women slept. You just with them pipe dreams. What? Touch a nigga straight to his soul.
No,
Like,
seriously,
like,
seriously. But it's like it's easy to support. Okay, I feel like it's easy to support an ambitious man who's on his shit.
Yes.
It's harder to support somebody who's not even clear about what it is that they want. You
That's
know,
right.
and then you look up and. Did any of y'all watch The Best Man and finish it?
I did
Yes,
not.
I
I
did.
was curious
I
enough,
did.
but no, yeah, you definitely
have
do
to-
spoilers because I still watch it. Probably,
Yeah.
eventually.
Okay.
I'll probably go back. And watch it.
Like I felt that way about what was Tay Diggs? I mean, Robin, was that her name? Robin.
That's Sanaa Lathan.
Yeah, Sanaa
Sanaa
Lathan.
Lathan. Uh-huh.
So Robin,
Oh, yeah,
she
you-
did not feel supported, right?
Mm.
At all. And he ended up having to run her down a list of shit. Like, well, you started this, we did this, I supported that. Like, you're not seeing your goals to the finish line.
Right.
Like, you starting and stopping, and
Yeah.
you starting something else, and I'm supporting that, I'm
Ooh-wee.
funding that, I'm paying more here, whatever you
That's
want to do,
true.
I'm doing.
Right.
But I think she was comparing her shit to his.
Yep, she was.
Where he came off
Yeah.
as a writer, got a movie, you cracking, you over here.
He was
you
just
casting
executing all of his
this
ideas.
stuff.
Right.
And he's like not only executing, like
successful
this
at
one
it.
thing is fruitful. It's continuing to multiply. You know what I mean? And it's like, what more support do you want from me?
Right.
You know what I mean? So I said that to say, like, it's hard to just continue to support a person who's not even clear about their own fucking mission.
About their
and that's
own
when
path.
I'm gonna take
Yeah.
it and go. And then that's when it's like, you need to get in place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And then it will circle back around. But
Right.
what about the people who don't? Like the people where it's like, I was down for you, and now you here, and we done.
Yeah.
Well, that's Kevin Hart and his ex-wife.
He likes to say they was broken up before he became the Kevin Hart. Speaking of Kevin Hart, what do y'all feel about like women still holding on to their marriage name? I don't
What you
really
mean?
like it. Like Tory Hart.
Yeah.
You know, like why
I
are
feel
you
like
still
if you,
carrying
I
the
feel like
name?
if you earned it, you could keep it. My mom was calling herself
Don't Eddie
Faye
Murphy's
Favors
don't Eddie Murphy's
for the
wife
last I
have
don't know
the-
how
her
many
last
years.
name?
Yeah, they all have their.
I
They
would
all
keep it.
really see. I don't know. Like I really don't like it because they always
Because that's their
say-
attachment to that person.
That's what I feel like.
Yeah, it's
I
that-
don't know if I'm.
It is kind of weird.
And it's the cachet too. I mean, this is usually.
Oh,
for the
that's what I was about to say too.
kids.
So
That's
they
true.
say, oh, the kids for what?
But because
What is that
I want
gonna
me and
do?
my kids to have the same
Like
last name. Because this ain't no ghetto baby mom shit.
that
All
is
the whites.
that's an excuse.
We got the same last name.
But you an
That is
ex-wife
a
now,
full.
so then
That
what?
thank you. That's a full excuse. Your kids are your kids, whether
Especially if
you
that
got the
person
name
has
or not.
remarried, I'll be feeling a certain kind of way. Like, sis, what I
Like,
need you to do is to drop that name.
I would not be tripping. Like, whatever.
Like let it.
It can't be
it just,
too.
It just
Yes, it
looks
can.
weird to me. Like I want to keep it for the kids. Like your kids know that they go to two separate homes.
Yeah, I know
like,
how we do though. I mean, sometimes it's that, but then sometimes it's
Maybe it's just you ain't taking this. That's what I be feeling.
Well,
like.
right.
I feel
Period.
like that way about Babyface ex Tracy Emin
Tracy
Ross,
Edmonds. No, I
Dion's
ain't
new
speaking on
fiance. I only
You
said
exempt.
that to say because it was her birthday, and when Dion did his whatever, her handle was still Tracy Edmond. Like as much love, and I love Dion. You know, he had the Colorado whatever. You know, family ties.
Right.
But at the end of the day, you promoting your fiance / girlfriend still with the
Tracy
Edmonds.
Sanders don't. Tracy Sanders.
I mean, I know Edmonds is for
Tracy
business.
Edmonds.
It's
That just
business,
sounds
but
like-
it's still,
they have the
it's
Edmonds
still
Powers and stuff.
Babyface.
That's why I had my interview. That's
Yes.
crazy.
but it's still Babyface.
It's still, yeah. I mean, R. Kelly, ex-wife, she still
She
keeps the
wanted
same
that,
name.
and she wanted that for obvious reasons, and she should drop it
Andrea
at this point,
Kelly.
right?
Drop it
Like
at this point.
you want.
That's why Hollywood
It's not
Exes is
doing
so
you
funny
no
because all of
I
them
love
still
that
carry.
show, by the way.
I did too. It was a really great show.
It was.
What,
It was
what
very
show?
under-
Hollywood Exes?
Yes.
Hollywood, I like the
I
R&B
didn't get into
divas.
it.
That it was
get
that
into
that early reality was spicy. Like
So
we don't,
good.
we don't get that kind of TV.
You're
at this
seeing
point.
Shantae Moore and Kelly Price get you. You'll never see that again. You know what I'm saying?
Booked and busy. That's where that came from. Miss Kelly Price.
Right.
Booked and busy.
She
That was
acting
started from her?
so nasty on the. But
Booked and busy
I
is
feel like those are my
funny.
elders. I ain't about to be talking
right.
too
I don't
crazy.
you know.
After that grown
I know
folks business.
you're gonna be at a brunch with them or something. Have to walk the
Right.
statement back. Hey
Excuse
guys,
Watch your tone.
Right.
Watch your tone.
Angela. I cannot even see Miss Bassett.
Oh my god!
Have you ever shared the story in the pod?
Okay, long story short, I was a part of the West Angeles Church youth program right down the street on Crenshaw Boulevard, less than about 10 minutes away. And it was a youth pastor event, and we were at his house, and I was so excited because, of course, when you're in LA, there's famous people that go to your church. And so famous people were pulling up to my youth pastor's home, one of them being Miss Angela Bassett. And I was so excited when she was walking up. I said, "Hi, Angela." And she looked at me like this. And walked inside the house, and everybody outside that was there was just quiet and silent, and it was awkward, and I was just it. And when I told my mama, she was like, "She did not have to do you like that. No, she did that because there was no other adults there, and I don't like that. She shouldn't have did that."
Of course.
So my mama, but yeah, she was.
It was the respect.
It was a respect thing. She is not, and that was really like a lesson, and I pray that I get to tell her that one day. I'm sure she'll get a kiki.
Yeah,
I'm sure she'll get a kiki out of that. And like, oh yeah, that sound like me. That was me.
Right. What sign is she? Do we know?
She's Leo.
Okay.
Oh God. Oh
Yeah, so she was on her throne. I'm like, on her throne. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Watch the throne.
Damn. I'm like, what? Okay. So thinking about dating, it's funny that you spoke to Mookie just about like not really feeling inspired to date because like just listen to this clip. I thought this clip was very insightful.
He talks about the fact that when you're done healing, it's nearly impossible to date because you see red flags in everybody. You see so many things that you're not willing to compromise because you actually trust your intuition, and you can see when things are an issue with people that you won't be able to get over later on in the relationship. So you don't allow your feelings to get in the way of logic. You just cut it off before it even gets to that point. And then on top of that, you realize how many people aren't actually working on themselves and are just seeking shallow connection. Like, they're not looking to improve themselves as a partner. They think they're perfectly fine the way they are. So there's no room to even grow into a relationship together because they're already set in their ways. It's exhausting because you're also then feeling lonely at the same time. And that sadness can be overwhelming. But I would rather be alone than be with someone who's not right for me. At the end of the day, healing is very bittersweet.
Okay. I thought that was
deep. Great. That
so
is
like,
great and so on point.
So what is it? February 2023? What is dating like? 30 year old ladies, whatever. In 2023, dating, like, what is that like? What is the energy? Because that sounded very accurate. I think that's just with people in general. You know what I'm saying? Like family, you know what I'm saying? As you're growing, as you are really, really invested in your own self-development, your standards change, your boundaries change, your everything. You know what I'm saying? And it should, right?
What matters.
And I think that I don't know. Well, y'all let me know. Because we can go on tangents. But like,
that was a great clip. I think just to kind of a long story short, I guess for me, I would say that I definitely see the red flags, but sometimes I tend to ignore them because maybe I just want to fulfill something in that particular moment with this particular person.
Right.
So that's kind of the space that I've been in. And it's not necessarily like I know off top, like there's nothing with this person.
Right.
There's not going to be a relationship. I know like off top that he's moving this way, he's doing this. And I do see red flags and I do see them. Right. I'm not ignoring them, but I'm just still choosing to say, you know what? I know it's not going to be anything else.
I'll control it this way.
I'll control it this way. I know it's not going to be anything else besides this, us maybe hanging out here and there, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that is getting very exhausting, but I'm, sometimes I'll choose to entertain it, and that's on me. You know what I mean? So at the end of the night, if I go home feeling empty because I knew that this was nothing but what it was, right, then that's on me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, but I went celibate for like 6 months and, and stepped away from having sexual relationships with men and stepping out of that space because it's very exhausting because you know exactly what it is and that's it.
Yeah.
It's that feeling empty and feeling lonely at the end of the night when it's all said and done.
And do you find that people are more interested in just shallow connections at this point?
Absolutely.
People are not really trying to like converse. You remember, you'll talk to a dude on the phone for hours, just getting to know him, go on a date or whatever. Y'all just end up like, or just like, I remember, I know I'm always bringing up Lauren and Nipsey. It's annoying, but I feel like I watch them all the time. And when they went on their first date, they were just driving around the city, like just talking. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really the vibe. So do you find that that's not really like commonplace anymore? Where like, because that's old school too.
It is old school. And some men will get you in that space, will say, you know what, I don't want a serious relationship.
Just for getting to know somebody? Oh, now see, that's about to piss me off. Like,
No, you're right.
And I'm speaking from personal experience.
yeah.
I was dealing with somebody for 3 months, literally like, oh wow, this connection is too deep. Right? It's too deep. It's almost like
So he allowed he allowed himself to connect.
He allowed himself to connect, and he was off top, opened up the floodgates to say, you know what, like, almost like, let's do this without saying let's do this.
Right, energetically.
Right.
Yeah.
And then when I entertained it, like, okay, I like my freedom. I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody.
Wow. Yeah.
But you stepped in that space with me and you
Right.
gave me that energy as if you did. You were
Right.
playing the role as if you did. From the
Right.
conversations to the spending the time to the opening up about intimate conversations. I didn't need to know about your family. I need to know what's going on with your mom and your
Okay.
dad and your sister.
Okay.
I didn't ask for that.
Right.
You volunteered that information because you were trying to build a connection with me. And then when the next step comes to, it's like, okay, so are you looking for a partner? Are you looking for a girlfriend? Oh, wait a minute.
Now it's not. Now all hands are off deck.
Wait a minute. I like my freedom. I don't want to be in a relationship with anybody.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, okay, so then let me remove myself from that equation now that I'm not
Don't worry about
emotionally. Sorry, let me step back. And now that I'm not giving you that, now that I'm giving you that anymore, now he's feeling like, okay, why are you moving differently? I'm not moving. I told you I was dating with intention.
Right. I love that.
I'm dating with intention. So you're not. So
Right.
I'm not making myself available to you anymore because you and I aren't seeing eye to eye.
We're not on that page.
We're
right?
not on
We
that
could
page.
definitely
We
still
could be friends.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it is. But now that and I'm glad, thank you for telling me that. So now I know not to try to like put more into the situation.
Yeah.
Or invest in it.
But of course they
anymore.
don't want that.
No.
That's niggas. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Of course.
That's where it becomes
They want to
a
be able to have
problem.
their cake and eat it too.
Right.
Like, off top.
But those boundaries, those are beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm definitely dating with intention. So
Right.
if at this point, if I'm just messing around with somebody hanging out, it's just that.
Right.
And I know
And you
that.
make that decision.
And I make that decision. So that's on me.
Yeah.
But and I probably should stop that so that I can be very clear and allow my blessing to come. Because I feel like I'm blocking that to a degree
Yeah.
by allowing.
Well, you're kind of like half in and half because what you just described is that though. Is kind of setting
And
up
I'm trying to
boundaries.
have, and I want to be able to have male intimacy because I do enjoy male intimacy and male time, but and time with a male.
Right.
But then again, I am trying to also find that man, right? I'm also still looking like, okay, if I'm dating a man, if I'm going on a date, is this a potentially somebody I can see myself with long term?
Right.
That's the first thing I look at and try to figure out, okay, is this somebody I'm going to be able to
Right.
see myself with long
Period.
term? So, yeah.
What about you, Moog?
I don't really know what the landscape. I don't know what
The landscape.
I don't really know what the dating landscape looks like now. I know that I'm not prepared for it. And what I've found to be interesting is that we always talk about the red flags, but not so much the subtle yellow ones, because all of them aren't red and toxic because
is so
a
deep.
lot of it is just boundaries, just setting up like, how do I know that this is a red flag if everyone else has dealt with it except for you? You know what I mean? Like, and they're so different. They're so subtle. And sometimes it's really like getting to know a person and working through spending all our lives separate. And now we're trying to come together as this couple. And there's things about me I have to let go. I mean, and let go, and you have to let go. And there's certain things that I'm willing to overlook because I can have a conversation about it and then it appear to change and then it reappears months down the line. And it's like, okay, hold on. You know what I mean? This little soft yellow flag is an issue. You know what I mean? Like for me, it makes dating really hard because I tried that. I tried to, I reconnected with someone and we were spending a great time together. And it was like things that I didn't like. I would discuss it and it appeared to disappear, yet it will reappear later. You know what I mean? And it's just like, damn. So it really was
This is
just
a thing.
all
Yeah.
bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you didn't really throw out a bunch of terrible red flags. They were just soft and yellow.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Something
people-
that
the
appeared
longer
that we
people-
could work through, but it
The older
wasn't
we
really
get,
no working through
the
anything.
easier it gets to mask them.
Oh, of course.
You know what I'm saying? We become masters at being able to keep those things hidden. So that's,
It makes it hard. It makes it scary because like while you were showing your best you, the other person is not really being true. Their intentions is not as pure as yours, despite they appearing to do so.
Right.
Like I had a whole conversation that was just lies, like a genuine conversation, one that lasted until 3 a.m. and this is what I need. Are you able to do that? I can do that. You know, and vice versa.
Right.
Just for everything to be a lie in the end.
Right. Which is really, really strange.
Which is crazy.
I think men want the connections just as much as we do.
They do.
We really have to get to a point where, and it's so paradoxical because it's like everything is tied into the other. Like a lot of times it's like we do have to except the fact that as women, we don't always, I won't say, but we don't always make them the most comfortable to be transparent or vulnerable in every single situation. They need a lot of support in that. And I think sometimes we kind of look at it like, well, shit, you talk like, I can talk about my emotions, talk about your emotions, get it out, spit it out. They are not built the same, especially depending on what type of man you dating or you dealing with. They just not built like that. Like, that's always going to be something that you kind of have to, work with them with. So I think that is trying to set the stage on that. But I mean, we also need support in certain ways too. I always talk about how young Black boys, that's definitely something that I have in my heart to do as I get older, but is work with younger girls, because younger boys always have so many alliances. Oh, the young Black boy in the hood, and the, you know what I'm saying, the things that he has to go through. What about the young Black girl? Yeah. The fatherless daughters, because of course we always talk about the fatherless sons, but what about the fatherless daughters? And so we, these daughters end up becoming grown women. Yeah. We have our things too. You know what I'm saying? We also need support, and I think that it's about like meeting each other in empathy. And then, kind of fostering that communication, maybe over time, but just trying to come as authentic and genuine as possible off the rip. You know what I'm saying? A lot of times dudes are met with women that come with, agendas, and they feel like they got to have their guards up. And, everybody's so scared.
And say, we need to stop making, like, Future the face of, like, toxic men, because it's those other guys. Yeah. Like, we love to say, oh, that he's toxic, or that the bad boy, the alpha male, they so toxic. The good boys are very toxic, guys. When you're really good on paper, take you home to the family, they be just as toxic. So
Girl.
we really need to stop making people like him the face of the bullshit, when it's like, nah, y'all will be pleasantly surprised.
Yeah. Well, I think y'all let us know in the comments about that too. I'm curious to know what your dating experiences have been. We're all scared.
Before we go, what's the most toxic sign you've dealt with? I'll go first and say a Taurus.
What month is that?
What month is that?
I'm giving it
a Taurus.
Give me the range for Taurus.
Taurus is late April to mid-May.
Okay,
May.
Got it.
Mm-hmm. And then Gemini is May to June. Then Cancer is June to July. Then what month are you looking for?
I'm looking for my Leo off top.
Okay.
Leo, baby.
A Leo off top. I'm toxic, a Leo.
My shit been either all good or all bad. It's nothing in between. Either I hate, either it's fuck you. It's either fuck you or I love you.
The one and only, like
none in between.
Period. I would say a Pisces. That was pretty toxic. Mookie, y'all both done witnessed some.
She probably more than me.
And some crazy
that was
penny loafers on part. Like, it was very, very.
That was a time.
Very toxic. But, astrologically, too, that's really supposed to be like a love match. Scorpio and Pisces supposed to be like a love match. But y'all got to look at the elements, too.
I need to see, who's my love
match? I need you to break it down for me. I don't know. Where's Zoe? I need him to break down
We need to bring Zoe in
here.
Come
on the next one.
And do like an astrology episode.
Okay, Zoe, we're locking you in for the next one.
Yes. Yeah. Okay,
we'll send him.
It's
gonna be here.
What do you mean? Miss P, is it?
We're gonna need a fourth mic.
We gotta ask.
This fast. Okay,
we gotta ask our auntie and see if we can have company. We might not be able to have company, but if we can have company, we'll let y'all know, because that'll be crazy.
For the next episode.
Even if he don't, though, we can still put some astrology stuff. That'll be fun. We do like an astrology episode.
We should find somebody.
Yeah,
we'll get somebody.
And Gemini will be the second. I know I'm a Gemini.
You
that's
know who
like
we
weird.
Need? I would love to get Hood. What's her name? Hood Healer.
The Hood Healer.
I don't know. I've heard some reservations, but hey,
I heard some reservations.
I was down, but
my
fire.
God. Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I think
we are done.
We are done with it.
You know where to follow.
You know what I had? I do want to drop a couple. I did get some song suggestions, so I guess
beautiful.
We're gonna drop. Beautiful, marvelous,
beautiful.
Okay, so just some song suggestions, I guess, to look up. Shout out to these particular artists. Burn Bridges by 211 featuring Quincy White and TF. Burn Bridges by 211 featuring Quincy White. Okay, I'm gonna have to look that one up. Okay. Celebrate by Mills was chosen. I actually was listening to that on the way here, and that's a very great message behind that song. So shout out to LJ for Yes, you were highlighted on Live and Direct with Chuck Dizzle.
Shout out to Chuck Dizzle, 93.2 The Beat. Shout out to Kay for putting me on for that. I will be putting that live up soon.
Right.
Yeah.
And the last song is G Perico Diamonds.
Hey, Perico.
What's up?
Is he still making music? Well, is that a
Oh,
new
girl,
song?
bye. Is he still making music as well?
Girl.
I mean, because he was like, you know,
Yes,
and
he
then I didn't know if he was still
is.
making music.
He's still moving.
Yes, he is
He's
moving
still
and shaking,
grinding. That was one of my
honey.
favorite interviews when we was at that place. Yeah,
I was moving and shaking.
Yeah, I like that.
I know.
On that note, thank you for tuning in to the Trio Podcast. We love y'all. TrioPod _ follow us at I am Chrissy B. Anybody else want to handle?
Y'all know where I'm at.
Trio
Okay,
page,
well,
like, you know.
Peace.